years, this is the Marngrook Footy Show with your hosts Grant Hanson and Gilbert McAdam.
Hello, and welcome to a very special edition of the Marngrook Footy Show as we celebrate our 10th birthday. And we've got a huge show tonight with lots of laughs, and we go down memory lane. So let's get into it and introduce tonight's panel. Please welcome Marngrook original. He's back, Ruck and Ronnie Burns. Another Marngrook original, Derek Kickett, and of course the amazing Shelley Ware. And my co-host, of course, for the last 10 years, Gilly. Great to see you.
Oh, brother. Very happy today, and what a celebration. And it's a great achievement, brother, and well done to yourself and everybody involved. But I'm looking forward to catching up with me old brother, Rock and Ronnie Burns. I haven't seen him.
Rockin's back. Give him another round of applause, Ronnie. Now, brother, we really missed you over the last couple of years, but you've been living up in Darwin. What else have you been up to?
Well,
Miss Gilly a lot?
Oh, actually, no, I didn't. It's great to be. No, it's good to see you guys and doing well, and it's good to see Derek as well, and the girls and Gilly, and yeah, good. And obviously people behind the scene that I haven't seen for a long time, and it's good to catch up. But good to see Gilly. I mean, my tips up and down are going really, really well because I'm tipping against you, and it's going really well. I can't.
Well,
jams, mate.
You look at the old shots there, and look at us now. I'm grey, but you're greyer than me.
Oh. You know, Gilly, I still got.
And you're younger than but you're younger than me as well. He's younger than me.
I just want to know what's going on with Derek's little rug on the top of the head. He's got a bit of the old Barry White look going.
But DK, how come you dye your hair?
I don't dye my hair, but I know he's 10 years younger than me, and his hair's grey. But you know, 10 years ago he had his hair parted to the left side, now it's to the right side. So
I really want to know what's going on. It looks like a helmet, but they're always picking on my hair, aren't they?
Now, Derek, it's great to see you back. You were one of the original Marngrookers as well, but can you believe it's been 10 years since we first started on Kanoa TV?
no, I can't. It's it's been amazing that it's lasted that long. It's been good. I know all the Noongars back home really love this show, and they're waiting for you to get over there to put the show on over there. So hello to all the Noongars mob back in WA. 10 years is great, Grant. So well done to you and your team throughout the 10 years. I'd also like to say a special mention, if it's okay, that I've got a nephew of mine that's been pretty crook for a while. He's in Royal Perth Hospital, and I send my wishes out to my nephew and all the mob out there that know that he's struggling very hard times at the moment. So we wish him well, and all the best to my nephew out there, Jason Bartlett.
Well said, Derek. Okay. And Layla, always great to see you. And I've got to ask you, because you're one of the original girls on the show, and tell us some of your memories of your first show. Can you remember it?
Oh, well, it was quite a long time ago now, Grant, but I was 19 and only a few months out of high school when I got the opportunity to work on the Marngrook Footy Show, and we were filming out of RMIT back then, and I think, there I am, oh goodness gracious me, and I think we were all really nervous and really excited, and this always gets pulled out every single time we do one of these shows, but that was my first ever news read, and that was all pre-recorded back then, and then I've obviously gone on to doing live stuff, and now I'm sitting on the panel with you guys.
And a couple of movies under your belt as well.
Yeah, so Marngrook's actually created a lot of doorways and opportunities for me outside of the football media arena. And so I've been on the Logie winning Secret River, and also Glitch, and I was in Team of Life, which is a theatre play as well, and I've also been able to mentor young Indigenous girls through the Ruapunda Foundation, and now I work as the career support worker at the Pavilion School. So all of those opportunities wouldn't have happened unless I was on Marngrook.
Fantastic, Layla. Now, Ronnie, you've certainly made your mark on this show over the years and given us heaps of laughs. So let's take a look, shall we, brother, at some of your great work.
Some out of the closet, are we? What are you up to these days now?
Burnsy, I work in real estate.
Okay, we'll move on to the next question. Just quickly, we've still got the footage. We're still rolling that game. Just have a look. Third quarter.
Oh,
now there's new quarter.
that's getting stale.
Bingo.
It's a bit like yourself, you're getting stale.
Mickey, you know what? You're not the only one that's got a book out. 50 Shades of Burns. There was a bit of electricity in the air, Nathan. Get your hands off my leg.
My name's Rockin' Ronnie Burns, the rockstar. I don't know if you've heard of me.
No, I haven't.
No? You better be joking here. Now, where'd you get those cards from?
You just gave them to us. We have to give them back.
Oh, no, you keep those.
Ronnie's hair, like they're asking what sort of oil does he have in his hair? Now, Ronnie, just to set it straight, you use Valvoline or GTX?
That's the first episode. You always jump out early out of the box and you got nothing at round 22.
Now, Ronnie, we've got one of your marks, mate. Check this out, Ron.
I was actually worried about my hair. I'm actually going to go the old Bulldogs.
He's followed Wayne to the show tonight. He's followed Wayne to the makeup room. Now he's following the tips of Wayne.
I'll jump off
Some of your best work there, Ronnie. Now, Derek, you also made your mark on the show as well. In fact, I think you probably held the Marngrook record for the longest ever tip that went for about 10 minutes. And we've got some of your highlights to look at as well. Let's take a look.
Now, just getting on to the game, the midfield, I think is going to be a key matchup in the midfield. For the Hawthorn players to win, they need these three players plus Cyril Rioli to really fire in the forward line. And this is a really good challenge for Birchall just to shut him down. And obviously, if he gets off to a good start, Jono is going to really hurt the Hawthorn defensive area. Yeah, I've got a couple of matchups here. Look, just your X-Fox factor, or probably the game breakers. Those two boys will really get them going.
Thanks for that, Derek, DK. And
I haven't finished that, I'm still going.
You're still going, are you?
And it'll be a good Derek.
Quickly, Ronnie.
Good exciting game.
They mustn't have let you say anything there. Seems the moment, Brad.
I think Derek was still doing his match preview when he walked back in tonight. Oh, jeez. But, Shell, you joined the show back in 2010 as a reporter. Take us back to your first show. Can you remember much about it?
All I remember was actually going home and watching it like this, like through my fingers. I was cringing at absolutely everything I did. Layla and I, we used to have to do our Titters Tips. Oh, goodness me. We had to do our Titters Tip segments in one take, and, you know, that might have taken us a little while, but we got there. And, yeah, we've had some good producers that have really helped us along. That's not me. That is not me. If you're wondering at home, they've got me mixed up with someone else. But, yeah, no, we've had lots of fun together. And, you know, the first show, it was just a blur, really, but it was really exciting to be a part of it and met some wonderful people along the way.
I think you should put your hands together, folks, for Layla and Shelley for the great work they've done here as pioneers in the AFL football industry for women. They do a great job.
And Grant, we know that there's a lot of people out there that know who the great Rockin' Ronnie Burns and Derek Kickett are, but for all the young ones out there that might not have been able to watch the highlights of these two fellas, we're going to show them right now. So, Ronnie, you're first up.
Well,
so we're going to show,
okay.
yeah. Besides that bung mark from before, we're going to show some actual highlights.
That outside left foot, Ronnie.
I kicked that with my eyes closed.
With your eyes closed.
Always love a little bit of theatre too, didn't you, Ronnie?
Yeah, this one was that was just a lazy day, that one.
Lazy six, wasn't
I
it?
think that one,
I
yeah.
love you, Ronnie.
Just a short, you know.
Yeah. And Ronnie Paul Burns, you started off at St Mary's in Darwin and you played 134 games for Geelong and then 20 for Adelaide, so all up 154 games, and you were the Cats' leading goal kicker 5 times, so, you know, it was a bit of a gun back in the day.
Absolutely.
Geez, Ronnie, you love the tight shorts there, didn't you?
Yeah, no, well, yeah, that was Geelong down there. It was nice and cold, so you had to keep the chubbies a little warm, so they were nice.
Well, good to see nothing's changed there, mate. But let's have a look at you, Derek. Now, we've got some highlights of you too for those young ones out there who want to have a look at you. Oh, the ball. Oh, good work. Have a look at that. A little bit of magic. Oh, look.
Oh, look at this one, Derek. 50 metres out on the 50 metre line. Bang, straight through the middle. There we go, folks. The great Derek Kicker, former Kangaroo, Essendon, and of course Sydney Swan star. Gilly, let's go straight to our first game tonight, shall we? My mob, the Western Bulldogs versus North Melbourne, Saturday night at Etihad.
Yeah, Bulldogs, premiership hangover, brother. There's no doubt about it. Campbell's back in the side with Redpath. Jong's out with that knee injury. They'll miss him because he's been one of their better players. And Boyd's out with the calf. Biggs, 50 games for him. Well done. For the Kangas, Swallow, the ex-captain's back in there with McMillan and, well, Magic Door's back in the side. Out of the side, Hansen, not Grant Hansen, Lockie Hansen. He's omitted, and young Jed Anderson's omitted along with young Turner, who hurt his knee. He's been terrific up until then. Etihad Saturday.
Yeah, it should be a good contest, this one. The Bulldogs have to win it. Ronnie, we're only going to do tips only tonight because we've got so much stuff to get through, but your selection between Western Bulldogs and the North Melbourne Kangaroos.
Yeah, I'm going to tip the Bulldogs over the Kangas.
Bulldogs for Ronnie. Layla?
The Bulldogs for me after our horrible performance last week.
Derek?
How long have I got to do my tips? North Melbourne.
North Melbourne, Derek.
Bulldogs to me, and love to Travis Cloak, who's just announced that he's taking a extended leave for mental health issues. So good luck to you, and we wish you well, Travis.
Okay, so Shelley for the Bulldogs. Gil?
Bulldogs, they won't have all them players down like they did last week. They'll bounce back and they'll win this game, Bulldogs.
Yep. We've probably got about 5 players that are playing at the moment, the Bulldogs, and the 3/4 of the side's letting them down. So they've got to get out of the kennel and have a real crack this weekend. It's now or never.
Brother, they'll be right. They'll be right. Look, look, Jack, every side that wins the premiership goes through this.
All right, let's go to our next game. St Kilda taking on the Gold Coast Sunday at Etihad.
Yeah, on Sunday here in St Kilda. Well, it's good to see the few come in because young Savage and Shaney's on our panellist on the Marngrook Footy Show, and Steele, the ex-Sydney player, he's in there, and Paddy McCartan. Play him every week, doesn't matter what, play him every week. For the Gold Coast Sun, Jared's back, Hairbrow, Thompson, Shaw, Miller, Archie, Fiorini, McPherson, out the side, Rosa, suspension, and Matura, he's been good. They'll miss him out with a foot, and Barlow, he's been a terrific addition for them, and they'll miss him. Hall's out with a hammy, and Gary Ablett, 300 magical games.
Well done, Gary.
Lonergan, 50.
Well done, folks. Be a really good game, this one, a close one I would expect. St Kilda or Gold Coast, Ronnie?
St Kilda for me, they're just got some good young kids.
Says Rocket. Layla?
Same for me as well.
Okay.
St Kilda for me.
Oh, lots of luck with St Kilda tonight, folks. No doubt about that. Shell?
I'm going to go with Gilly Saints too.
Gilly?
Yeah, St Kilda for me too.
You said last
I'll be surprised.
You said last week St Kilda won't make the 8, so you can't pick them to win every week.
No,
if they do, they'll make the top 4.
No, but last week I said round 13 wasn't finished. Because remember there was only...
They're not going to make the 8, I don't care what round we're in. But you keep picking them.
Because you love them.
Well,
Anyway,
I'm hoping they're going to make
I'm going to go for the Gold Coast. Okay, time for a break, but don't go away. Nathan Lovett Murray's up next. This is Marngrook. 10 years, folks. Yes, and welcome back to the Marngrook Footy Show, wherever you may be watching the show across Australia. Now, a special guest tonight, he plays with the Essendon Football Club, originally from the Western Districts in Victoria, and he debuted for Essendon in 2003. Please welcome Nathan Lovett Murray. Well, he was our first guest on the show 10 years ago, and his first cab off the rank tonight. Please welcome Nathan Lovett Murray. And good to see you, Nathan. Interesting. You haven't changed much, but I certainly did, and I had the Dermot Brewer and tips going on. Thinking I was looking pretty cool in those days. Jeez, I looked like a dag, didn't I? Terrible. Nathan, always great to see you, my brother, and you've been a part of this Marngrook family since we started, and as I mentioned in the intro there, you were our first guest on the program. What was you thinking about the show when you first came on, and, you know, when it first started up, did you think we'd get this far?
Oh, no, definitely. You know, to be here for 10 years, it's just, you know, been very proud to be a part of it in the last 10 years as well, and, you know, credit to yourself. You've done a lot of hard work to get it, to build it up into where it is now, and I think I remember coming on the first time and just being really nervous, a little bit nervous now at the moment, but you really made us feel comfortable for the young Indigenous players, not having much media skills, but be able to come on here and you taught us a lot and you opened up a lot of pathways into that media for AFL Indigenous players.
Hey, brother, good to see you. It's always great to catch up with you again. And I know you are doing the coaching caper now, and just let everyone know what's going on. You're in Rumballara, in Shepparton, and how are you enjoying it? Because you're going back to the grassroots with your people and your mob, and that's something I know you feel very proud to do. How's it going?
Yeah, it's been really good. Up in Shepparton at the moment, coaching Rumballara Football Netball Club, also working at ASH, the Academy of Sport, Health and Education, and it's been a bit of a learning experience, the coaching part, and but really enjoying it. We haven't been going too good on field. We've only won one game. But,
you still having a kick?
Yeah, still playing. I've done the hammy 4 times, so I can't wait to stop playing. But no, it's been really fun.
You're a bit like Derek. Derek didn't know when to retire. Derek played to his 43, so your body's telling you something, that right? You've got to pull up.
Well, the trick is you don't pull hamstring. I never pull hamstring, so that's it. So
You never moved out the goal screen.
You never had a hamstring.
I like the way Nathan said it. I'm going really well. We only won one game.
Club's in good hands.
Now, Nathan, a couple of years ago, you worked on a segment with us, with Aaron Davey, called The Deadly Times of Nat and Flash. So let's take a look back at some of your great work.
Hey brother, you know what? Just looking back over my career, just remember my legacy I've left, I guess, in this game is one of the genuine hard men of the AFL competition.
What the hell are you talking about?
Hey guys, how are you? How you going? Yeah, good.
Mr. David Rees-Jones.
How long you been following the Bulldogs for? Well, I started following them for a while, then they took out restraining orders.
I was driving here today, listening to the song they named after Nat Rat, On the Prowl. Nat, you know that song? On the Prowl.
I'm so excited to talk to you about your career. I'm a big Bomber fan, and I've been researching all weekend on YouTube, like you told me.
None of that today. We're not here to talk about Nat.
Really?
One more last question before we go. Who's more cute, me or Nat?
It's only natural that I would pick you, isn't it?
Exactly right. Thanks for your time. He's actually a really deadly bloke, eh?
I told you he's a good bloke, man. Stop being paranoid, brother.
You was right, brother.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, mate. They've just left. The hit's on. Like what you did on Neville Bruns. Outstanding. Cheers.
Good work there, you and Flash Davies, Nathan. Now, you've been in the news recently in regards to your legal issues with the Essendon Footy Club, and we don't want to go into the details tonight, but just in terms of yourself, how you're travelling along personally at the moment.
Yeah, it's been tough the last couple of years, but I've had really good family support, and I guess being up in Shepparton, Uncle Paul up there's been really supportive, and but hopefully we can work it out with the football club, and I've got to think about my family and how that's going to impact them as well. So we are going through mediation, and hopefully we can work it out and not have to go into the courts.
Yeah, I was reading the article the other day. It talked about you being worried about your reputation and it's been tarnished. And one thing I can say from a Koori person from the Melbourne community, that the great work that you've done with the Indigenous kids in the community, particularly with a lot of the work that you did in music and pumped a lot of your own money into the community, into young artists, that needs to be congratulated, brother. So the people that are in the know the good work that you've done, brother. So
appreciate it.
No, well done, brother. You just keep up doing good work, and that's great that you're doing that stuff with your people, because I know when I retired, I went back home and I got more pleasure out of coaching my mob and in a football than I did playing at the MCG. That's true.
Yeah, that's what I was going to touch on. I suppose, for you to overcome those issues that's going on with your life is getting back to your community and working with your people, and you got that support of all your brothers and sisters and all those elders and that to help you out.
Yeah,
support you.
Been really good, just the support that I've got, from everyone, and especially family. And like I said, it's been really tough the last couple of years. And but to the football club that I'm with now, Rumballara, and just being able to be involved in community, which is what I'm all about, and it's really helped as well.
Have you got aspirations to be involved in coaching in a further level, have you? Or
yeah, definitely. I want to, at some stage, get back into the AFL system, and that was the advice that I was given, a couple of years ago. Go back and coach your own club, and At the moment, we've got Rumba's got a partnership with Richmond Tigers, and I've been coaching their Next Generation Academy, Indigenous Academy there. So I've been really enjoying that, going down to Richmond and working with their coaches, and also working with Xavier Clark, who's been really good down there.
That rad, if you get Derek out of retirement and Gilly and me, you might win your second game.
I don't know if we'll afford you. Costs too much.
But Nat, congratulations on everything that's happened, and I just wanted to speak very briefly about Indigenous Round and how much bigger Indigenous Round has gotten since you first started in the AFL. And in 2016, they changed the name to Sir Doug Nicholls Round, and you obviously have a connection there. Can you tell us about how it felt for you when they changed it, and how you've seen the change of how people are starting to embrace Indigenous Round more?
Yeah, I remember playing in my first, Indigenous Round Dreamtime game, and it was probably one of my highlights of my football career, being involved in that, because they'd give free tickets to all the mob, and I'd have all my cousins and aunties.
What's the most tickets you've had to give the family? 30 or 70?
No, I had 100 tickets.
100?
Yeah, I had to give out to all the mob. And, they're all free. Buffalo's coming from Haywood.
We've got more cousins than you, brother.
Brother, other people don't really understand what we're saying, but it happens to us all the time.
It happens, but the clubs are really good. The AFL is really good, and I was able to get all the tickets and give them out. And to have the round named after my great grandfather, Pastor Sir Doug Nicholls, it's been a huge honour, and the family's really proud of that. And hopefully we can continue with that.
Was it a bit like golden tickets, trying to find a ticket to Dreamtime at the G? I think.
I think that happened to Rockin when he was at Geelong, and when all the Tiwi Island mob come.
I told him I'm from Lebanon.
That right. Mate, how difficult was it to make that transition? You played over 10 years at the Essendon Football Club. You're a life member. You played with a lot of the brothers over there, Paddy Ryder. You played with some good Indigenous players at the time. How hard is it to step out of league football when it's been such a huge part of your life? And do you still keep in contact with any of the players at the club?
Yeah, definitely keep in touch with Paddy Ryder, Alan Davey and Leroy Jetta. Was really close at our time at Essendon. And Paddy Ryder, I'll give a shout out to him. He's playing his 200th game this week.
Well done, Paddy.
And when he first moved over, they come and stayed with me and looked after him. And those guys were like my little brothers. And I remember when I first went to the club, Dean Rioli was like my big brother. And so on. So, to sort of see those guys, doing really well. I think Alwyn's coaching Palmerston. So, just really proud of those guys. And I guess, going back to, the issues that we went through with the Essendon drug saga, I'm probably more, because I was a big brother to those younger guys and sort of led them down that track, I feel really, that's something that's really sort of ate at me a lot, because I was the older one there and sort of went through that and talking to those guys and how it's impacted them now, and that's something that the club needs to understand. For Aboriginal people, we're a close-knit group, and this has really impacted our personally, but also our families and our communities. So it's just hopefully the club can really look at that and think about that.
100%. Okay, let's hold it there, Gil. Let's go to the Derek Kicker Cup. Sydney taking on Essendon Friday night at the SCG.
Yeah, all the Sydney Swans. Well, Kevin's, he's not a Pelican, but Milliken's back into the side, and Florence also in there. And out the side, Marsh and Jonesy, he's been terrific for them, and he's probably finally caught up with him with that suspension because he got off a couple of times earlier on. But anyway, the Bombers, McKernan's back in the side, brother of Corrie. Langford.
Corrie.
Well, he's not Langford from Hawthorn, but out of the side, Myers, Omitted and Hooker. They'll miss him because he was terrific last week. Friday night footy.
Okay, he hasn't changed much, Ronnie, has he?
Mate, I'm glad I'm going back on Sunday. Can't wait, I'm trying to get red eye tonight.
Let's get a selection.
Yeah, I'm going to Pelicans play and I'm picking Sydney.
Sydney for Rock and Ronnie. And Layla, your selection?
Sydney at home for me.
Sydney for Layla. Derek, this is named after you, this one. Will you be presenting the medal after the game?
No, mate. I'm going home too. No, I'm going for Sydney. I think they're only one game out of the 8. So.
Sydney Swans,
Essendon have been playing really good football and they've had some really good upsets, and I'm going to back Essendon.
Of course, you're sticking with the Bombers, folks. And Kelly.
Yeah, remember 3-4 weeks ago what I said?
No.
I said Sydney will make the 8, didn't I?
Did you?
Yes. Sydney, they come, look out.
Okay, and...
I did.
Okay, I think Sydney Swans will win this one, folks. Nathan, it's been a pleasure having you with us tonight, mate. Thanks for coming on. It's always great to see you and keep up the good work, mate, and all the best with Rumballara. Thank Nathan Lovett Murray, folks. Okay, time now for some Marngrook music. Please welcome the Dynamic Hypnotics for their smash hit, Soul Kinda Feeling. Take it away, boys.
Is that good to you? Is that good to you? Yeah, let's do that thing. It's alright. Keep doing that thing. Yeah, my baby. I got a soul kind of feeling. I'm moving with the beat. And that is soul kind of feeling. Sounding kind of sweet. Talking about religion. Not talking about fashion, no. Not talking about woman, no. We're talking about fight on the right. It's just a soul kind of feeling. I'm moving with the beat. Keep on a soul kind of feeling. Sounding kind of sweet. About my girl, stand by me, darling, you see me. I'm feeling alright, day and night. You might be sitting alone in your room, or at a party, people you don't know. Then you hear the familiar tune, and you know pretty soon you'll be moving on your own. Do it so hard kind of feeling. I'm moving with the beat. I got a soul kind of feeling, sounding kind of sweet. Wait a minute. Might take you higher. Might take you higher. Might take you higher. 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 Soul kind of feeling. I'm moving with the beat. Can you feel it? Soul kind of feeling, sounding kind of sweet. We're moving with the beat. We're moving with the beat. Well, come on, keep moving with the beat, and it'll feel alright. We're moving with the beat. Well, moving with the beat. You feel it in your soul. I feel it in your soul now. What I say, yeah, I'm talking about. Got me in my soul. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Yeah, now, baby. Yeah, I do one more time. Talking about now.
Marngrook. This is our 10th birthday show. It's a pleasure now to introduce the Macedonian Marvel, Peter Dacos. And our next guest, the former Carlton and St Kilda big tough man, Warren Well Jones. Dakes, it's great to have you with us tonight. And Warren, welcome to you as well. And geez, 10 years, Dakes, who would have thought?
Well, it has gone like that, hasn't it? 3 minutes. But yeah, it's great to be here and good to see Big Wow too.
Yeah, now, Wow, that's a very interesting point that you brought up there. Your nickname, Wow. Are you able, it is a family show during a family ratings time, but are you able to share with us how you actually got the name Wow?
I can share with you. After we'd played a game, home games, the club would take us out to dinner. We'd go to a nice restaurant. We ended up in a restaurant in Carlton called Danetti's, best pasta restaurant in the whole of Australia. And I'm sitting with George Harris and his wife, and she's a very, up and, very pompous sort of woman.
Very well spoken, yes.
Very well spoken. And she said, I saw you play football today. I thought you played very well. I made that bit up. And she said, no, she got some tattoos. And I said, yeah, I have. She said, where do you have them? I said, I've just got them on my arms. And she said, anywhere else? And I said, I haven't, but a friend of mine's got some tattoos in a very interesting place. She said, where? And I said, well, he had a W on one cheek of his buttock and a W on the other cheek. And she said, really? I said, yeah, when he bends over, it goes, wow. So from that time onwards, that night, all the guys kept walking past going, hey, wow. So that's how I got the name.
Wow. Wow, 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 Gilly.
Well,
wow.
Well, BT's made it famous recently, hasn't he? But no, look, Wow, good to see you. It's always great to catch up with you again. And
again, yes.
Well, I caught up with you in the late 80s, and I remember you coming to my house and when St Kilda wanted to draft me, and you and Peter Hudson and Kenny Sheldon rocked up, and I lived in a place called Smithfield, middle of nowhere, and they caught a plane from the airport. And Dakes, it cost them $200 and something in a taxi. Wow. And I remember Peter Hudson saying, gee, mate, you live a long way out here, mate. It costs us $200 in a cab, and I'm thinking, yeah, now you know what I go through, mate. But anyway,
I thought he was going to say, I hope you're worth it.
I said to Peter, why have you dragged me out here? You and Ken can have that conversation with Gilly. And they said, we need someone to carry the big brown paper bag.
Well, let's not go into that.
Yes, let's go.
No, let's go into that. No, look, you've been very fortunate enough that you played in a premiership, and as we all want to play we want to play AFL or VFL, but we also want to play in a premiership. You were very fortunate enough to play in the 82 and with some absolute champions. Tell us a bit about it.
Oh, it's a sensational game in that Richmond were by far a far better side than us. We'd got beaten by them by about 50 points in the first semi, and we met them in the grand final, and there was no way known. We were like 2-1, against to win the flag, and we just had a great team of players that really everyone did their job, and some guys really had outstanding games like Jono, Mike Fitzpatrick played just outstanding games, and we got across the line. We had the streaker came on to try and upset us, which was an interesting time.
Was that your biggest memory from the game?
all I can remember is she had the most beautiful eyes, Grant.
Glad you said that. Instead of having wow, we need SOS because we might need it. Okay, running.
Warren, I was just going to ask you, I mean, the great Carlton teams back in the 70s and 80s, how do you rate Carlton against the Hawthorn teams in the 80s?
In the same period that we had some obviously some success in 79, 81, 82, and Hawthorn went through a similar phase in the years following. So, early 80s there was Essendon and also Hawthorn were just great teams. So everyone had their moment, with 3 or 4 or 5 years to really nail a couple of premierships. You either underperformed or you overperformed, and both Carlton and certainly Hawthorn and Essendon basically overperformed in those eras. The other clubs that were right amongst it basically underperformed. They should have played in grand finals and maybe won a few.
Now, Warren, footy's changed a lot since you played in your day, and a good example of this was when what you did straight after the 82 grand final. So let's take a look if you don't remember. This is what happened after the 82 grand final, folks. Here we go. Siren's gone, and here he is, having a puff on the way up. You wouldn't see that smoking a cigarette these days.
So cold that day. I had the.
Hope it was a cigarette.
I thought I was up in the snow.
I didn't worry about their performance back in them days, did it?
I will say, what was evident, and clearly Collingwood Carlton had a great rivalry, but the feeling, Ree, with the Carlton players, I know you were very, very close off the ground. It showed clearly on the ground, but there was certainly a very good chemistry and closeness.
Yeah, we had a very good culture, and I think Mark McClure had a lot to do with it. He used to get us after training, pre-season training, straight down the pub. And I remember David Parkin said to Sellers one day, he said, mate, I've seen you down the pub, you've got to stop going to Norton's. So we started going to Fenwick. and that was part of it. You had that group of players that stuck together. We were very inclusive, so a lot of the women used to come out with us after the game on Saturday nights, and we were all involved, whether you played in the first or the seconds. That group of players were always together and supporting each other, both off the field and obviously on the field.
Warren, just to Carlton right now, I mean, some good young kids, I mean, the Silvanis, and that. Do you follow the football much? You might take a bit of interest, but how do you see that core group now coming on and also the coach? What's your thoughts on that?
I think Bolton's been a breath of fresh air for the club. I think where Carlton have missed out a little bit in that they've let a lot of experienced players go. And there's a couple of guys down Geelong and they're all over the place. Lots of these good experienced players that have sort of left. They've now been replaced by a number of players that have come from GWS and other clubs that have had a little bit of experience there. But then you've got this enormous talent that's coming through, and they're starting to develop this belief in themselves that they can, go out there and play footy, and they've demonstrated the last couple of weeks in what they can do.
And it's good to see what you can do with a bunch of young kids at a club who give them game time. And the Blues are certainly going to rise up the ladder this year and the next couple of years. But Warren, you've actually got a book you brought in tonight. It's called Larrikins and a Legend. It's by our good friend Dan Eddy. It's a good little book on Led to Belief. And tell us about it.
Well, it's a great read. Dan's got involved and come into the club and actually got inside it, as opposed to most books are written from the outside looking in. He's had the opportunity to come in and work with most of the players in getting stories around our careers and time together, some funny stories, larrikins and legends. It sort of goes to tell you a little bit about what was going on. I believe I was one of the legends. But it's a great read, even if you don't follow Carlton. It's just a fantastic insight to what a successful club and a successful era, all the components that go into making a great football club and create success.
I imagine you would have got a quote out of Bruce Doyle for the book, because he hasn't talked, has he?
No, I didn't say much. In fact, in the 82 grand final, I'd been playing with Bruce for about 5 years, and I'm standing there at quarter time, as I normally did. I'd count the count the pips in the oranges while the coach is talking, and Bruce has tapped me on the shoulder, and I've gone, God, what's going on here? Maybe he's going to ask me how to play on Jess or something. And I said, yes, Bruce, and he said, wow, you're on my toe.
OK, let's hold it there and have a look at the 1982 grand final replay. Richmond versus Carlton, Sunday at the home of footy at the MCG.
Yeah, well, the Tigers, you don't know what you're going to get with them, do you? But you know what? They've been a great side this year, even though they've lost their early ones. Merrick, Lennon and Markov's into the side. They'll make the changes because it's a Sunday game for the Blues. Smiths, the ex-Geelong boy. Kerridge, Graham and Pickett, he played well in the VFL last week. Had the side Williamson and brother, after Carlton's terrific win last week, they might, you reckon they'll get 70,000 this week? They might.
It's a possibility.
MCG.
OK, Ronnie, selection on this one, please.
Yeah, I'm going to tip, who they play? Carlton.
Carlton. Well, sticking with the old boys, the Blues. The Blues for Wal Jones, ladies and gentlemen. OK, DK.
Yeah, being a Carlton supporter in my younger days, so well done for the memories. Wow, in the 80s. I'm going for Carlton.
We've got momentum.
OK, Dakes.
Richmond Tigers.
Look, I'm looking forward to it because the Carlton players can make a statement about where they're going. But I think Richmond, what happened last week, I think Richmond has to win the game, and that's why I'm going for Richmond.
Okay. And I'm going to stick with the Blue Boys. I think Carlton will win this one. Warren, thanks for joining us tonight. Please thank Warren Jones, ladies and gentlemen. Well, over the last 10 years, we've met heaps of people and had lots of fun. Let's take a look back at some Marngrook memories. Hello and welcome to the Marngrook Football Show.
Ronnie?
I just want to ask you, what's the main dish that Macedonians eat? I mean,
Oh, well, we enjoy our chicken, so a bit of KFC.
When I was called into the match committee room that Thursday night, they told me I was out of the team for round 2. And I couldn't believe it, so I had to actually talk my way back into the team, which I managed to do. But
if Collingwood was a hot water service, you'd chuck it away. Hot and cold all the time.
KB, I couldn't help it. I saw this photo of you during the week. It was on the Twitter waves.
Looks like it's highly unlikely we can go any further in the finals now.
I'm going to go back to Gilly because I'm sick of him sitting on the fence all the time. Who's your choice?
For the coach?
For the coach.
Oh, look, I don't want to speculate at the moment because it's all
You sound like a politician, brother.
You're always having big games. You always play at the MCG.
I know. I think last 7 weeks of the year we've finished off the MCG, which is a lot of fun.
Went to school with Ronnie and he had this husky voice.
Did he go to school, Bucks?
You have the number punched in and you have it set every year. You ring up and say, can I play?
Just in case they're short.
Ronnie rings me up and says, "Derek, can you get me on the team?"
986, I got the best play in the finals night game. I won a mission.
What did you do with the card tip?
I just came to my brothers and my sisters and my sister, I don't have a sister.
How important is Nick Smith to your team? This week because
yeah, look, Buzz, he did a good job on you. I think he kept you goalless last week there.
The premierships are a bonus. We want them, and it's great when they do come. But you'd play the game for nothing with all your best mates and things like that. I think that's what sport's all about. I really believe that.
I reckon Rocket he'd be smoking at the moment. He'd be just absolutely... he's got no hair left to pull out.
You got some money. I'll tell you what, a line through that. Dockers haven't got any players left. Do you want to hear what my buzzer is? Silly question, Ronnie. No, but the jockey was Steve Arnold. The Saints are coming.
That was scored by Gilly Rapp. And welcome back to the 10th birthday edition of the Marngrook Footy Show. And it's a pleasure now to introduce Rowan Connolly, please, folks. Welcome, Rowan. Well, let's go straight into your rounds of our lives. Here we go, folks.
Bigger applause than that. It's a great segment. All right, we're going to start tonight with one of the great debuts. It's round 14, 1994. Essendon picks a young Western Australian spearhead called Scott Cummings to play against Sydney at the MCG. This performance was so good that Inside Football asked the following week if Cummings was the new Coleman. While he did end up winning a Coleman medal with West Coast, Scotty's career didn't quite reach those heights. But this 8-goal effort, the 4th highest tally ever by a player on debut, was pretty handy.
Play by Hurd to get on with it. Not good play by the Swans. Here's Cummings. Oh, good mark.
Away from Ross. Centering kick now. And another one to Cummings.
And sprints clear and a long kick. Bays and Cummings. Good lead by the youngster.
Simons to full forward. But yes, it got there. Well, Scott Cummings for another one. From outside 50. What a kick.
good stuff, wasn't it?
I was actually at that game that day that he kicked those goals on debut. Derek was playing in that. I remember talking to him after the game, and I think he was pretty pumped, and I think he thought it was going to happen every week, but that's why he ended up at 4 clubs, I suppose.
Well,
but a good effort anyway.
He's a great bloke, Scotty. I think a few of us know him pretty well. He's not quite that svelte anymore, is he?
Yeah.
He's put it on a bit, but I suppose...
How old was he there?
Oh, he would have been 19, I think.
Jeez, a big unit. And
Look,
quick.
He had a remarkable... He played at 4 clubs, and he had a really good debut year at each of the clubs. I don't know what happened after that, but he kicked some serious bags of goals.
He kicked long goals too.
He could
long
play.
goals, not close to
Kevin
goal.
Sheedy decided to play him at centre-half back after season 1 for some reason, but there you go.
Let's move on to the next one.
Okay, number 4. Well, everyone loves the Specky. Once upon a time, they were the sort of marks taken exclusively by the big key forwards. Not anymore, though. The little guys take more than their share of hangers these days. And this day at Amy Stadium against Port Adelaide in 2013, one of the littlest guys, Collingwood's Jamie Elliott, took one of the biggest of them all.
The top of the square. Huge lever on the top. Can you believe it? Jamie Elliott with a huge fly. That could be the mark of the year.
Great grab. He's a great player. Okay, number 3. If they ever do an official list of the 10 best home and away games ever played, this one has to be right near the top. The year is 2009, and incredibly, St Kilda and Geelong both went into this round 14 clash undefeated. That's how good they were, and the result was an absolute classic decided literally in the last minute. Let's have a look.
Well, he uses Chapman. He tries a spiral, doesn't get onto it. Gardner falling over. It's a goal. It's gone all the way.
Goes wide. Stokes has got it now. Open goal. Scores it tied. Montagna, always dangerous with the ball in his hands. Goes to Luke Ball. Dropping back is Revolt. It's in his ballpark. If he kicks it, your darts and Kilda can lose. He's kicked it.
I remember that game really well. I was at that game. I called it on radio. That was one of the best games of footy I ever seen in my entire life. And I'm not being biased.
Only because St Kilda won.
No, I'm not being biased.
Well, this won't make you feel any better, Gilly, but I reckon had the grand final been played in those conditions, I reckon the Saints would have got up. Okay, number 2. Now, we just saw an example before of a little man taking a great big mark. Hang on, though, as I used to say in those Demtel ads, but wait, there's more. I think you know where we're going with this. It's 2001, Essendon playing the Western Bulldogs, and Gary Moorcroft is about to just about drive a hole through the Etihad Stadium roof. Let's have a look and take special note of another incredible football moment in the lead-up, and that's Scott Lucas actually kicking on his right foot.
Lucas read it best. Wrong side for him. Hooks it back. What a mark! Sensational!
He's taken the wind out of himself. And why wouldn't he? Because he sucked it in from the stratosphere when he was up there.
When that ball was kicked, I thought he's got no chance of marking it, and he's that hot. He just threw himself at it, and it
That is one of the best couple of grabs ever, I reckon. I was doing the boundary that night on radio. It's the only time I've seen a crowd stand up and applaud for about a minute about one incident.
Everyone thought he was the mascot that ran out from the boundary.
Can I say, you know the other thing with that footy, do you reckon Brad Johnson ever went back into the back line again?
Well, he could take a decent hanger himself too, Brad, up the other end, of course.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, number 1, we could have dubbed this segment tonight Rounds of Our Little Men, because check out number 1. It's none other than the Wiz, Jeff Farmer. It's the year 2000, Melbourne are playing Collingwood, and the Wiz has had a shocking first half, so bad he's ended up with just 1 kick and 1 handball. So bad he started the second half on the bench. But then this happened.
Oh dear, hang on. Oh!
He's kicked 2 goals in his third term. He might kick 3. The Wizard! Number 3. Here comes the Wizard! To the square. Farmer looks dangerous. He's got it!
terrific play, James McDonald. Farmer for number 7. Yes, sirree!
Fairly tough kick. Nothing's tough for Jeff. Oh, he can do it all.
9 goals. 9 goals in less than a half of football. Unbelievable stuff from the Wiz. And a treasure trove of great moments around 14 in years gone by. Because like Dermot Brereton's glistening blonde mid-80s mullet, so are the rounds of our lives.
I love that segment. A great seeing the Wiz there, Gilbert, a fantastic player. Well, let's go to our next game. It's Geelong taking on Fremantle Sunday at Skilled Stadium.
Yeah, Geelong over in Perth last week. Good to see Hawke back from that suspension. They missed him. Hall and Smith, Blissabs, or Blickabs, however you want to pronounce it. Rockin', I don't know how to pronounce this last one, so you'll have to help me. Kaneko, is that how you say it? But anyway, Cockatoo's out with a hamstring. They'll miss him. For the Dockers, Ballantyne's back. Where have you been? Subin, DeLuca, Cadilla, Hughes, League, or Lug, Darcy, out the side, Griffin with the calves, Sutcliffe, Gray, Kirsten, 50 games, very well read, Gilly.
Let's get selections on this game. Geelong or Fremantle, Rockin'?
Oh, no, I've got to back the old team. The Catters will get up.
Cats for Rockin', Ronnie. Rowan?
Cats at home, they've won 65 of their last 71. They'll make it 66 out of 72.
Okay.
Yeah, Geelong for me.
Any love for Fremantle, Dakes?
That's a record score for Geelong.
Gilly?
Oh, look, at home, Cats at home.
Yep, Cats for me too. Now, Dakes, you've been involved in this show since you first appeared, I think it was in 2008, but in 2012 we got to know you a little bit better on our 70s special. And before we look at this, just a warning to the people who can't stand 70s fashion to look away now.
How about a warning to me?
Hey, Dakes, not many people know this, but at one stage you were contemplating a bit of a music career, weren't you, before football? That's you with the guitar there, isn't it?
That is me with the guitar.
I'm not finished with it yet. We're talking about music. Before the 1980 Grand Final, the football record asked players from both teams what their favourite song was. Now, do you remember what you said? Here's some of the other guys, Name Myself, Emotional Rescue, Life at the Outpost. You remember that song? Well, here it is.
I was set up.
There's Stormy there.
Wow.
Oh, could I? You haven't, though. You haven't.
Have you?
No,
You're kidding me. Have you found my guitar?
Do you remember the chorus to that song? Let's just pop back
I was set up.
It was.
There's no way, no.
The chorus
Life at
was,
the Outpost. No
give
way,
your
no.
love to a cowboy man.
I'm coming out.
That song, I'm sure, I was looking at the dancers there, I'm sure Ronnie was in the background there dancing.
Now, great memories there, of course, Dakes. Now, Rowan, it was the 80s. What was your favourite track of the 80s?
Oh, well,
What about a Privacy Act?
unlike Dakes, I value my musical credibility, Grant. So, up to me 1980, I would have been listening to Cold Chisels East or Midnight Oil's Head Injuries, but certainly not the Scat Brothers.
I remember that song. Okay, let's take a look at our next game. Collingwood versus Port Adelaide. Saturday at the MCG.
Brother, give me some tissues because I can't stop crying. Into the side, Reed. Good to see him back with Goldsack. He's a panellist on the show. Good to see him back. Smith and Scharenberg just got back and they dropped him anyway. He'll be back. Don't worry about that. For the Port Power, that terrific last week. Pittard's in. Pollock's out with a handy and Paddy Ryan at 200.
Well done again, Paddy. Okay, let's get selections on this game. Gilly, you wipe away the tears, Ronnie. Collingwood or Port?
Yeah, congratulations to Paddy, 200 game, and I'm going to tip Port Power.
Port Power for Rocket Ronnie. Rowan.
Well, I have to say now Collingwood. I'll tell you why. Pollock out, big out for the Power, and Goldsack and Reid back in. Pies have been competitive all year. Biggest losing margin, 23 points. One game out of the 8. I think they're going to have a big crack at September, and it starts right here.
Okay. Derek, one word. Collingwood or Port?
Port.
Port for Derek. Dakes?
I don't even know who the Scat Brothers are.
It's the two Magpie teams.
I was set up, but I'm going to Pies. Pies.
Gilly, your selection.
When he goes pies, which pies? There's two pies.
Exactly, the original ones,
real
Port Adelaide.
Nah, look, I'll tell you what. I'm going for you blokes, Collingwood.
Oh, Collingwood for Gilly and Port Adelaide for me, Gilbert. As you know, NAIDOC week isn't far away, and the Coburg Footy Club is having a NAIDOC lunch on Saturday, July the 8th. It's at their home ground, and I'll be there. It'll be a great day. It'll be a great day. So get your tickets, which includes a 2-course meal, Gilly. Then you stay for the game against Werribee. It'll be a great day, and I'll be giving away some Marngrook prize packs containing some rare Marngrook merchandise. So make sure you book your spot.
Is it you shouting me that day?
Yeah, you should come along. I used to barrack for Coburg when I was a young fella, and the VFL as it was in those days. Okay, we're fastly running out of time. Please thank Rowan and Peter Dacos, folks, for joining us tonight. Always great to see them. We'll see you again soon, boys. Over the years, we had some pleasure getting to know our young Indigenous players and watching them become stars.
Hi, I'm Eddie Betts. I'm 21.
Hi, I'm Shane Edwards from the Richmond Football Club. I'm 19 years old.
G'day, I'm Sherry Willingham from the Collingwood Football Club. I'm 20 years old.
My name's Josh Hill from the Western Bulldogs, number 20. It's my second year of the club. Loving every minute. Retake. Cut. One cut. Start again. Kicking goals is awesome, but yeah, it's love playing forward and hopefully try to get up into the midfield.
Eddie fooled them all. Escaped. Eddie Betts. Eddie Betts.
Love to play in the midfield one day, but I'm happy playing in the forward line until I can prove that I can play in the midfield.
It's great to watch. Edwards storming out of the middle with style and lands the bomb. He's landed a big bomb, Shane Edwards.
I was lucky enough after 6 or 7 months to get my parents to move across and help me out a little bit, so that made things a lot easier.
It gives to Franklin. Oh, that's sweet. That's a beautiful thing, it really is. You pay good money to see that.
I mean, I go out there and just want to get a kick and yeah, got a few kicks. I was pretty happy with that.
Rioli looks dangerous front and centre. Can he get through the heavy traffic? Look at the pickup. Look at the speed from Rioli. He's a genius.
You know, I sort of go out there trying to take the big marks. That's what the people like. So.
A long kick. And Ryder again. He's there. He is causing headaches.
Yeah, it was good to be involved in the game, not feeling like I was out of place, which was good.
Now he gives a handball to Wellingham. Wellingham goals.
I think it takes a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication to your chosen sport that you want to sort of excel at.
What's a drawer? Found Wells. He snuck another 10 metres and Wells drills the ball, Richo.
Okay, it's time to introduce one of Carlton's favourite sons, and he knows how to get the hard ball, not like Ronnie Burns. Please welcome Mitch Robinson. Welcome Mitch Robinson to Marngrook, folks. Mitch Robinson! Okay, please put your hands together for our Marngrook favourite Mitch Robinson from Brisbane. Well, as you know, he's been a regular on our show for many years. Please welcome Lion star Mitch Robinson. And of course, back with us, Shelley Ware, folks. And Mitch, it's always great to see you, mate. And we love the way that you play because you're as hard as a cat's head the way you go in for the ball, mate. And as a result, you get a few injuries. And I know you've been out injured for quite a few weeks now. I think you might have fractured your leg or broke a bone or something. So just wondering how the injury is going and when we can see you back out on the field.
Yeah, it's great to be back. I think it's the 7th time out of 10 years, so I feel pretty privileged to be able to come back on the show. Must have done all right the first couple of times. So
we like your haircuts, actually.
They were terrible.
They're getting better as
you could have told me. Could have told me like, to my face.
Mitch, so I was going to talk about your injury. Now, you have your foot injury that has ended the actual season for you, but you nearly ended your career when you just went out and played a little bit of soccer with your beautiful son, Chance. So let's take a look at your Instagram post. And here he is, Chance, lined up, like a big strike at Dad. Knee, foot. And that scream actually comes out of your voice. It's quite, it's funny, it is a bit sad, but he's gorgeous.
No chance of footy there.
I'm not a big soccer fan.
Hey, brother, it's always good to catch up with you. You know, you're one of us, you're one of a brother, so welcome back, brother.
You've adopted him too.
Oh, look,
Absolutely.
Look, we know he's a lovely bloke. We know.
He's related to everyone.
No, brother, there's some positive stuff happening in Brisbane, and you know, a lot of people aren't that much interested in the east or the south or the west. But I'll tell you what, there's some real positive stuff's rocking going on there. Don't worry. And young Shacky's signed a contract. Chris, the coach Fagan, is doing a magnificent job. I'm going to mention a few players. Hipwood, you know, and you got Matheson, and you got a lot of young kids coming through the system. There's hope for the club. You had a good win the other week. Everyone expected you to go over Adelaide and probably get a hammer in. The boys only lost by six goals or whatever it was. I mean, that's not a lot, so there's positives. No, there's positives, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. No, it is. A lot of the boys are signed up, as you mentioned. Shaki signed up a few years. We had Harris Andrews signed up for 4 to 5 years. So, and Jared Berry, who we just drafted in the 2016 draft, he's signed up for a couple of years as well. So there's a lot of faith showing the club at the moment. We know we're going in the right direction. Within our 4 walls, we can see the light of the tunnel, and I'm glad I'm there for another year, and hopefully can sign a couple more and see some success while I'm there.
Yeah, Mitch, Dane Beans has been in terrific form this year. He's led the club well this year, so how's his form going?
Yeah, he's come into the team this year. He came at the same time as I did about 3 years ago, and he's suffered a few injuries, a few setbacks and that. But he's got the captain role this year, and I think he's really bought into it. He's playing some great footy, and he's one of the biggest professionals of the club. So he's ticking all the boxes. And Rockcliffe as well as our vice captain, he's really shown. He could have gone a backward step, but he's played some really good footy this year, and he's in all Australian form again.
Mitch, the coach, how you find the coach? How's he blended in the Brisbane up there, and is he gelling well with the players and that?
Yeah, he is. I think the club did really well this year. We got it. He's trained as a teacher, so we got the youngest list in the AFL, the average age of 21. So he knows how to communicate with the young boys, and we have been big margins this year in the losses that we've had, but as I touched on before, we played Port Adelaide at home and then we lost by 80, and then we went up there and lost by only 6 goals. So we're right in it. So there's obviously some positives coming in, and young boys getting better.
But also, with you being injured, have they given you an opportunity to come into that coaching box and have a bit of input? Because you're 28 years old, you're handsome, you got one leg. But have they given you an opportunity to come in and take on something? Because you've got a lot of young kids down there, and you played a lot of football. Have you come in and taken anyone under the wings? Or?
No, I don't really want to go in the coach's box. It's not for me, I don't reckon. I do like to get around the young boys. I think I see myself still a young 21-year-old. I'm 28, I'm second oldest of the club now, so it's kind of depressing, but it's still going. It's going well, so I can still get around the young boys and show them the ins and outs of being a midi.
Now, Mitch, what do you think has changed at the club? Because one of the things with Brisbane has always been that they haven't been able to hold on to the younger boys, and we talked about young boys signing up. What do you think essentially has changed there?
Yeah, I think just the culture that we're trying to build there. We recruited pretty well. The young boys, Hugh McCluggage and Berry, they're a couple of guns that are going to be in the future, and I think we got Chris Fagan come in, who's really settled the club, and we've also got David Noble, the GM, who's come in and really set the standard in the club. So we want to build a culture and make players stay. Obviously, winning games is going to be the factor in all of that, but a lot of the boys can see some light at the end of the tunnel. I think we're going in the right direction, so hopefully we can keep them around.
Okay, well, let's hold it there, shall we? Have a look at your side now. Brisbane Lions taking on GWS Saturday at the Wollongabba.
Yeah, just a couple of changes for the Brisbane side. Good to see Buick back in there with Witherden and out of side. Harwood's out with a foot injury and Pepperone's been omitted. But Bastanik, well done. He's played 150 games for them. Well done. For the Giants, in the side Haynes, out the side Perriman's been omitted. But Heath Shaw, you legend. Heath, 250, brother, and Shield, 100 games. Well done.
Mitch, I was just wondering, with Brisbane at the moment, I see a lot of parallels to Hawthorn when a couple of years ago when they got some really good quality draft picks, and what they did was built the spine, and I see that happening up at Brisbane. Would that be fair to say? Yeah, it is. We've got Hipwood, who's very young, Shacky's young, we've got Harris Andrews, who's playing years above what he is right now. So, and we've got our midfield. Our midfield's probably the best best section, the eldest in the team. So we're building around that, and I think once these boys get some games in them, 50-odd games, because they're all averaging around 20 at the moment, so it's not too much experience, but we can see some really fantastic players coming through.
You mentioned before that you know, you're getting older and you're probably a mentor to some of the players. I want to ask you about young Cedric Cox, because he's a Kimberley boy, and I know your wife is a Kimberley girl. Now, I'm pretty sure that there's a connection there with the.
Yeah, they'll be related somewhere.
They would be. There's no doubt about it. But brother, the point is, how good is it to have that young boy there? Because I get excited for him and young Seaton Petrovski, because they're from Halls Creek. Are you enjoying it, and how's he going?
Yeah, he's living with me at the moment, so
Good.
yeah. As soon as I saw his name get read out, and he's from Emma's area, we had to get him in the house. So he's been really good. You don't know what foot he kicks with, left or right. He's one of those freakish players, but he's going well.
Gilly's saying your wife is coaching that young fella.
Yeah, she should be getting some money. I think for that. Yeah, on top of my contract, there should be some more. But no, he's fitting in really well. Like
it's a good story.
It's a learning curve for him. He's still like getting his scheduling right, and obviously it's a big change from.
You show him, brother. You show him.
Yeah, I will. He's
Now,
under the
Mitch,
wing.
as we saw before, you have some wonderful haircuts that we've seen over the season, but you've recently brought into a barbershop. Is that something you're planning to do after football?
I can do a mean haircut, yeah, for the boys. No,
do you want to learn how to be a barber, or it's just
no,
something
I can cut hair, but that's not obviously a passion. It's just something to invest in. It's pretty cool to have a barbershop. I met Jesse Williams. They call him the Monster. He was in the NFL, Indigenous boy. So I met him the other day. He's around 155 kilos, and just meeting him, and as you see there, Charlie getting a haircut. So,
What names would you give us? Well, my hair's pretty good. It's pretty good.
You've got the little the track there in the hair, like that.
Gilly's got a bit of a steelo look. What about
What
would you call that? Would you do a bit of that?
That's a perm.
You'll have to pay me.
Let's get selections quickly. Ronnie, one word.
GWS, that's three.
GWS. And you're speaking of the old club, of course.
Yeah, obviously Lions, but obviously Witherden. He's also his first game debut, so good luck with him.
Well done. Okay, GK, quickly, one word.
GWS for me.
Okay, Charlotte.
Pictures Brisbane for me.
Yeah, look, I just want to send my condolences to Dad Blackmore, and who passed away, and the Blackmore family in Brisbane. I'm going for the Lions.
Okay. Well, I'm going for the Lions as well, Mitch. Thanks for joining us. Put your hands together one more time for Mitch Robinson. All the best in your injury, buddy. We'll take a very short break. Time for more Marngrook to come.
Titters Tips, and it's round 2 already. Welcome to you, Emily.
Hi, Kylie. I think we both got a great pass last week, but I might have to stop tipping Brisbane.
So, who do you barrack for?
Oh, I can't remember.
It's Nick Rewalt's 150th, Layla. So, just for that reason, I think I'll tip the Saints. They travel all right to Perth.
I don't know. I think West Coast is still going to win.
Layla, the big question for me is whether Nick Rewalt can replicate the efforts of Cowboy Neil and get the Saints over the line. I think they can.
Okay, Layla, step 1, prior opportunity. Run in a circle for me. Run in a circle. Run in another circle, Layla. Shelley, tackle up. Bang. Got a handball. Got a kick. You didn't. That's holding the ball.
So, Layla, who is it?
The winner is Black Man, and his name is Eddie Betts.
Yes.
I get jealous, boys.
Wonderful memories, and I think it would be a pass without acknowledging all of the women that have been on the show. So there's Emily Finn, who was on when I first came on, and then there was Kylie Farmer, then Sandy Greenwood, of course, Shelley Ware, the lovely Shelley Ware, who's here now, and and we also had we've had a lot of female panellists for both our women's shows, and also some wonderful female guests, including Angela Pipos, Susan Alberti, Abby Holmes, Peter Searle, Katie Brennan, Moana Hope, Nerily Meadows, Lauren Arnell, Penny Cooler-Reid and Mia Ray Clifford. And we also had Christelle. I remember Christelle did a Titters Tips back in the day as well, DK's daughter as well. So we've had some...
Got
the singing talent from me.
Yeah, so we've had some wonderful female talent,
Absolutely,
Shelley.
and it's been fantastic to have them a part of the Marngrook journey as well and sharing it. So,
And your mum had a cameo.
I think Mum's even had a spot on the show.
Yeah.
That was for the Pink Ladies.
Yeah,
so that was
Pink
great.
Ladies
Yeah.
for our first women's show.
How important is it for you ladies that, to be pioneers on an AFL football show? Because when we started Marngrook up, there was hardly a woman on any AFL show, and they've talked about women on the shows in recent times, and I make a big thing out about it. But Shelley was on the Marngrook radio show. We had a female producer. We had 12 years of radio before we did 10 years of television. So altogether, it's been 22 years, and you're part of that radio show as well for a few years before doing TV. And Layla, you were the first Indigenous woman to be on an AFL football show. How does that feel to be pioneers? It must be a great feeling.
It feels fantastic to have been part of that history, and what is the most important part of it for me is that these young Indigenous children watching here tonight know that it's actually possible for them, and that's that we've broken down these barriers for them, and we've had some pretty hard times and taken a bit of stuff from some people that have come in and asked us if we were doing the weather or certain little things like that along the way. So it's been great that we've knocked down these barriers and shown these young girls and young boys out there that anything's possible, and when I'm ready to go, you can take my spot.
I think it's really important that like Shelley was saying, all Indigenous children out there have people that reflect themselves.
Yeah.
And the wonderful thing about Marngrook is it's always been really inclusive.
What was the favourite time for you when you look back at your Marngrook memories out of those 10 years? Because you've interviewed, you've done so many great things.
So many
What would
things.
be, is there one or two things that stood out for you over the journey that you really liked? Some of the guests that come on the show, there was one particular former world champion.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Lionel Rose when he was on the show. Also when I got to travel up to Gulawinku, which is my hometown back in Arnhem Land, so hello to all the family up there, with some of the Bulldogs players, Josh Hill and Jared Harbrow to name a few. It was wonderful to be able to go up there and do some filming. And also when we did the OB on Gillies Country in Alice Springs. That was a good memory too.
And the grandstand named after him, but won't talk about that. Shell, your favourite memories?
Well, I absolutely loved travelling to Uncle Sid's country when we went to Roland's Mission.
Right.
That was one of my treasures as well, and we've built a lovely friendship just from meeting him there, so that was wonderful. And through that friendship and through the things we've done at Marngrook, we've actually become on their rap committee at Carlton today, so that's a huge thrill and honour for me to be there. So that was wonderful. And also, interviewing the late Lionel Rose just before he passed away, that was wonderful. And all of the great people we meet every week, like we've met the most amazing people on this journey and made so many good friends. So, so it's been good. And of course, every week next to you, Gilbert and Gilly and Grant.
Actually, while you're talking about that,
here.
there's a couple of panellists that's not here tonight, but they need to be acknowledged. Alan the Journeyman Thorpe, Rock and Ronnie Burns, and used to great scene, used to banter on the show. We've also had Dougie Hawkins, we've had Robert D. Pierre Domenico, Chrissy Johnson, another Brisbane champion on the show over that journey. So, we need to thank all those people for being part of this Marngrook history. Fantastic. Okay, well, let's go to the Marngrook Player of the Week, proudly sponsored by the Victorian Police Force, Gillian. They're now recruiting, so if you get the sack from me, you can get a job there. Go to their website for more info, and let's check out the vote, Shell.
Yeah, well, let's have a look at that. We've got the Player of the Week is actually Jeffy Garlett. Good on you, Jeffy. He had a fantastic game this week with 6 votes. It was great to see that. And Neville Jetta on 4. Look, they shut your boys down, you two. You must have been shocked. I wasn't shocked. And Liam Jones with 4. He's completely just changed everything. It's so exciting to watch, Layla. So it's been great.
Yes, he is. And let's have a look at some of Jeff Garlett's stats there for round 13 and 15 possessions, 9 tackles, 3 inside 50s and 2 goals. Derek, and he is in all Australian form at the moment. And since crossing over from Carlton to Melbourne, he's been a great acquisition for Melbourne. And I think it was a great move for him and his career.
Yeah, certainly one of those most exciting forward pocket players, and unlike a lot of the other brothers, he can actually fly off the ground. He can take a good grab.
Oh, look, he's resurrected his career. There's no doubt about it. And he's No, he doesn't only kick goals. He does all the tackling, Ronnie, in the forward line that you never used to do, and turn the ball over.
See, but that's, Gilly, we've had this conversation before. They had to tackle me.
Brother, you didn't need to tackle.
Catch you first.
No, seriously, you didn't need to tackle because you kicked them straight through the gizzards.
Okay, before we go to the next game, a big thank you also to Glenn James, who was a regular, Phil Cracker, and Kevin Bartlett, of course, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's go to our final game, West Coast versus Melbourne, Saturday night at the main stadium, Gilly.
Well, he's back. Oh, you tricked me then, didn't you? He's back. Josh Hill's back. That's what I was going to say. And company, so the two Indigenous boys back in good stuff. Lacra's out with a hip and Nelson's out with a hammy. Jeddah, best game for the club last week. Lewis. Melbourne D's. Maxie's back. Maxie's not gone. He's back. Son of Stevens in the side, Billy Stretch. What are you laughing at, Rocket? This is what you've been missing out on. Jones is out with a leg and Watts is out with a hammy, and Frosty 50 games.
Now, you were really excited when we said Rock and Ronnie Burns is coming back to us.
He's made me laugh tonight.
Yeah.
He made me cry.
So he's back in love again, is that what you're saying,
Yeah,
Gil?
well, he never spoke to me for 3 years. And
Won't take your calls?
I still love him.
Oh, still a lot of love. Rock and Ronnie, the Melbourne Footy Club, they're playing some good footy at the moment, and I said at the start of the year they're a big chance of making their final eight. They're impressive, aren't they?
They've been good, and the little Mexican there, Garlett, he's flying at the moment, and I think they're up and about, Melbourne, and I think they could upset West Coast here, and I'm going to stay on the D's.
Derek, young Neville Jeddah, Noongar boy from Western Australia there, he's in absolutely sensational form, probably nearly the best backman in the competition at the moment.
Yeah, he's one of those quiet achievers. He's playing really good footy in the back line, and I know he's doing a lot of good work with at the Richmond Footy Club with the Institute over there as well. So
yeah, he does a lot of community work. But he's also... oh, hang on, you just lost my train of thought then what you were going to say. You go.
Oh, sorry, I was just going to say, look, Lewis Jeddah has really struggled since he's gone back home. Now, let's be fair about it. The game last week, that's the best I've seen him play. Has he turned the corner now? Because they need him.
Yeah, well, he's starting to get back into playing good form. Like I think he started off when he first got over there. It took a while for him to get back into the routine.
He got dropped 3 times.
Yeah, so he's struggled a bit. I don't know what the reason is, but we know what he can do on the, especially the Domain Oval that suits him, his style of play. So hopefully he's had a good game last week. So this week could be another good game for him.
I got it, Gilly. What I was going to say was Neville Jeddah, they were talking this week all Australian form. So, like, he was outstanding. And all week people said, what happened to Stringer? What happened to Stringer? I don't know if they were watching the game, but I think it was Neville Jeddah. That's what happened to Stringer. Yeah,
of course.
Absolutely.
No doubt this one will be an exciting game because Melbourne, they're up there. And, they can finish top 4. West Coast are still playing good football. Very hard to beat at home. So it's a real big ask
game
for Melbourne to win over in the West.
Well, I was going to mention Josh Kennedy because everyone thought he'd be back in the side rocking, and he's not back. So this is the one. They could steal this Melbourne, can't they?
Yeah, they can. And like I said before, they've got a nice little balance, and Viney's playing well as well. So I think these.
Let's get a selection. Rockin', West Coast or Melbourne?
I already said it. Viney.
Melbourne. Okay for Rockin' Ronnie Burns. Layla, quickly.
I'm going to stick with Melbourne.
Melbourne for Layla. Derek.
Being in Perth, I'll go for the West Coast Eagles.
Melbourne for me, for sure.
Well, this should be interesting.
Brother, I'll pay money just to watch Petrarca because he's a star. I look forward to watching him over the next 15 years.
Oh, geez,
Melbourne. Melbourne. He's a star.
I think when you're in doubt, Gilbert, always go for the home side, and I think West Coast will win this one, only because it's at home. I hope Melbourne win. Actually, I hope Melbourne win, but I think West Coast will do it. Well, folks, it's been a great night, and I'd like to say a special thanks to all our sponsors, Deakin University, 3KND, the Victoria Police Force, RMIT, and of course NITV for their support. Thanks for everyone for watching. You've made our show great, and we'll be back next week. Good night and enjoy your footy!